we were doing, so we've done, in the video, we looked at singular, which we've covered. We've done duals, and we started doing plurals, right? Plurals. In the last lesson, and on the video that I shared with you guys, we did the first type, which is a regular plurals. Was it regular plurals, yeah? Yeah, regular. And from there, we did the Jama, because plurals mean Jama, doesn't it? Jama. Yeah? We did the Jama. Anybody remember? Jama Muzakkar Salim, yeah? Jama Muzakkar Salim. Why is it called Jama Muzakkar Salim? Anyone? Yeah. It's constant with the sound. Same, yeah? Excellent. And it's the Salim, nothing changes, yeah? The letters. And then you did Jama Mu'annas. Sorry. Mu'annas Salim. Alright? So we've done that. There's a trick that I think I mentioned in the video. If you're struggling with constructing the regular plurals, just remember one pattern. What do I mean by that? Let's do Muslimun. So the table that I did, yeah. If you remember, we had masculine here and feminine there. Remember? We had the single, the dual, and the plural. Remember? Yes. So all you have to do is remember one pattern, and you just replicate it, right? You get used to it. So, Muslimun. What's the dual for Muslimun? Masculine. Musliman. What's the plural for Muslim? Muslimun. Straightforward. Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimun. Just memorize it, right? What's the feminine singular? Muslim. Yeah. What's the dual for it? And what's the plural? Muslimat. 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 Yeah. Muslimat. You always notice what you notice in the feminine that comes up quite a lot is different to the masculine. Which letter comes up? The ta mawuda, feminine ta. Yeah. The feminine touch, if you want. Yeah. Muslimun, Musliman, Muslimuna. Muslimatun, Muslimatani, Muslimatun. And then anyone that comes like that, you just basically think, okay. That's one way of memorizing it. Because I can imagine for you guys it's difficult to remember rules that we do. I just told you that because that's the rule. We're okay with that. Alright. In this lesson, what I want to do is I want to look at the irregular ones. It's very straightforward, but it's also complicated at the same time. In irregular plurals, so you have irregular. Alright? What is irregular plurals going to be? Think of what regular plurals are and what makes them distinctive. So what are irregular plurals?
They don't have a fixed pattern.
They don't have a fixed pattern. You know how you had a meme, scheme, lam, meme, order? They don't have that pattern. Okay? So, let me give you an example.
Well, what page are you on now?
Page 26 at the top. Right? So he gives two examples. Haroon. That's the first example that he gives. Now, so does not, I'll just write it here, does not follow a fixed pattern. Okay? Sorry. Unfortunately for you, or fortunately, depending how you look at it, you just have to know it. You just have to know, like in English sometimes, you just have to know that this is the plural of a word. Can you not give one in English? That doesn't have that. You know how you say flowers? That's a pattern, isn't it? For something. Or other words in English where you can't put S on it. It's plural something else for it.
Goose and geese.
Goose and geese. Excellent. Sheep. Sheep, huh? Go on. You should know this. Sheep, huh? Sheep. Well, that's a pattern though. That's a regular pattern. Give me one. You want to advertise, I'm selling sheep, so try something. Good, I like that.
Man and men.
See?
Man and men.
Man and men. There's no pattern for it. You just have to know it. Huh? In case it. What?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So one, give me examples. Give me examples. Give Give me some more examples of variables. Child children. Can you see? So you have the same in Arabic. The same logic, if you like, flows in Arabic as well, where there's no pattern. So he uses the word nahrun. So this is an example. Nahrun. Anybody know what nahrun means? جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار. Rivers. River, yeah? River. Singular, river. جنات تجري من تحتها الأنهار. So the plural for that is أنهار. There's no pattern for it. Can you see the noon hara, right? There's an alif in between. Somebody say, Malana, there is a pattern, but there isn't. Because look at it. Noon, ha, and ra. If it was the regular one, you would expect the same pattern, but if you don't, you have the noon, you have the ha, but then you have an alif, and then you have the ra. So it's broken. Can you see? It's broken a pattern. So naharu, anharu, rivers. Allah will have, in general, we will have rivers between us, which will flow, inshallah. And those of you who love the countryside, you should love the countryside. You will find that when you're near rivers or streams, you find a sense of contentment there. And harmony. Then he gives a second example, which is Rasul. Rasul. And then he gives the plural for that, Rusulun. Again, if you look at it, Ra, Sin, Waw, Lam. But here you have Ra, Sin, no Waw. So it's broken a pattern. Can you see that? Can you see that? Alright? Everybody okay with that? So that's a Jama. It's a Jama. Right? In masculine feminine, we keep it simple. There is no masculine feminine for this. All it is called, you know how this is called Salim? Yeah? Also, anybody know the word in Arabic for broken? Kasara. Kasara, yeah? Break something. Kasara. Kasara. This verb, kasara, to break. So it's actually called al-jam'u. Al-jam'u al-mukassar. The broken plural. Broken. Broken. Very simple. Alright? Any questions?
Just going off of the tangent.
Go on.
You know, going back to that table, I noticed that, you know, with the feminine words, for the singular is always a dam buta. Yeah?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then for all the other ones, the dual and the plural,
The normal verb.
is that a thing?
Yeah, that's a thing. So remember we said last lesson, I think Zuba picked you up. He picked you up the why is it normal? Why does it change to normal type? That's a rule for you. It's not feminine type anymore. It's not dominant, it's a normal type. Yeah. So yeah, it's a linguistic thing, but it's still important. What sound is normal type? Yeah, it's changes.
So singular is that and then dual.
Yeah. But it's still sound.
That's the thing.
Yeah. Remember in your head because that will come up quite a lot in Arabic. You'll see Arabic is a very poetic language, so the sounds like should be ringing in your head as well. So now when you read the Quran, if you read like any surah from like the Quran or like do it at home, go home tonight and just read the Quran in poetic tone. So like وَالشَّمْسِ وَضُحَاهَا وَالْقَمَرِ إِذَا تَلَاهَا وَالنَّهَارِ إِذَا جَلَّاهَا وَاللَّيْلِ إِذَا يَغْشَاهَا وَالسَّمَاءِ وَمَا بَنَاهَا. You can get the poetry, وَالْأَرْضِ وَمَا ضَحَاهَا. Can you see the sound? We just play like whatever, right? But really it has this poetic. Yeah. So this class. What? قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ صَمَدٌ يَلِدُ يُولَدُ كُفُوًا أَحَدٌ. You see? So it's very poetic and it's moving, right? And so because we no longer do poetry and we use Lenin's GCSEs and we forget about it. It's actually very, very important to be able to appreciate that. So Zuba, does that answer your question? It wasn't a tangent, it was a very good question by the way. Anyone else?
just set number of broken.
What do you mean by that? There's so many. Yeah. You just have to learn them. Yeah. So if you look at the vocab on page 26, abun aba'un. Yeah. Is that a broken plural or that's in Arabic? Jama muzakkar salim or jama mukassar? Mukassar. Yeah. Next one. Akhun, ikhwanun, ikhwatun. Jama muzakkar or jama mukassar? Say in Arabic. Jama mukassar. Next one, mountain. Jabalun, jama jibalun. Mukassar or salim? Mukassar. Say in Arabic, yeah? Suratun, jama suwarun. Mukassar, yeah? Look at pattern. Next one, dhayfun, jama dhuyuf. Mukassar because there's a waw, isn't it, between, yeah? Separate it out. Abdun, jama ibadun. Second column. Mukassar. Qawmun, jama aqwamun. Yeah, qawm. Nasun, jama unasun. People. Innahum unasun yatatahharun, Allah says in the Quran. Mukassar, yeah, because it's plural. Najmun, jama nujum. Wan najmi idha hawa. Was that mukassar? And the last one, waladun, jama awladun. Alright, so there you go. Right, so you need to learn these vocabs as well. The exercises, well, will make you do that. Anyone have any questions?
You know, for these words that you search again, there's no masculine and feminine, is there?
So first one,
Father,
why would that one not have a feminine?
because it's natural gender.
Right? Brother said mountain.
Is that her? Yeah, I'm not sure.
The mountain, is that masculine or feminine?
Masculine.
Why is it masculine?
No damage.
No time around that. That could be one reason, or the Arabic usage. Right, so if you go back to page, I think you mentioned it somewhere, don't you? No?
Yes. How about guess?
Sorry?
Guess.
Yes, jama, zayfun, jama, dhuyuf. Ooh, good question. I think that's gender neutral. Not in the biological sense or in the modern sense. Yeah. So again, these are things that you'll learn, inshallah. Everybody okay with that? Right. So recap. Remember we started with? We were doing nouns. Right? We did this. We mentioned this list. Anybody remember?
Definitely.
Yeah, Marifa and Akira? Irab, we haven't done that yet, so we'll take this one. We haven't done that yet. Number, we done that? How did we do it? How did you? Well done, Zuid, awake. Okay, so we done that. Gender? Yeah. You say the best is the last, right? Which is Irab. Irab is a bit longer, but it's fundamental to Arabic. It's fundamental to Arabic. Before I move on, I want you to make sure you've done exercise. Did I give you exercise 5 and 6 to do?
Yeah.
Make sure you do that over the weekend. If you're struggling, put in a group or reach out to me. If we don't have time next week, I'll do this as a video for you guys. We'll do it as a video.
For each word, you have to split it up into the 6 component parts.
If it's required. That's
Okay,
okay.
only like 3 that where it isn't.
I'll just give it a number of it, so everybody's gonna be like, I want 4 or 2, what's going on?
Yeah, 3 or approximately.
exercise 5.
Exercise and 6. Exercise and 6 is strictly just translation, but I want you guys to work a bit harder. Right.
Is that just the
But don't forget to translate the word as well, okay? Exercise 7, what I want you to do for exercise 7 is translate it. But many of you came to me, I asked them, you're practicing how to write Arabic. Maybe you can use that as a way of practicing your Arabic as well. Alright, so we've done that. I'm going to introduce Irab. I'm not going to cover it all today's lesson. I'm just going to introduce it for you guys so you just get familiarity. Irab is something that, who's done Irab before? Who's covered Irab before? One? Only one? Right, so this is a brand new concept. So every so often, I'm going to drop a bombshell on you guys, like something that you've never ever come across before. And because Arabic is one of the Semitic languages, it's so there's a whole philosophy behind it. I won't go into it. But you know, European languages, they work in a certain way on your brain, right? And Semitic languages, these languages, Arabic, Hebrew, they work a different way on your brain, right? If someone's interested, I'll send you the paper. There's a lot of studies that have been done on this. So for some of you, if it's only conservation, you're rewiring your brain a little bit, or you're expanding your brain. You're learning a whole new worldview through the language. Yeah? If you're struggling a little bit, it's absolutely normal. But I'm here to help you. I struggled a lot when I first learned Arabic. Right? Now it's something that's very, very relatively easy for me. But when you're learning a new language, it can be a bit difficult. But hang on in there. Right, everybody okay? Any questions? Anybody have questions? Ask me now. Whatever remain silent. Questions? We've got about 10 minutes. Any questions? Right, I'm going to introduce Irab to you today. I'm going to leave you to finish off exercise 5, 6, and 7. Make sure you've done every single exercise. In your book, by the way, or in your iPad or wherever, you should have all the lessons, exercises there, complete. So if I come up to you and say, where's your book? Can I see it? You show it to me. So I need to see evidence. I don't want to treat like children, but I want to see evidence that you will practice it. Because otherwise, I won't be confident I've told you. So I want to see you do the work. Alright? So at any moment I can stop you. You better be ready with your exercise book. I need you particular, no excuses. Right? No excuses.
Could you give me some forewarning?
Thank you.
That week and week.
Yeah. So let's do Arab. Anybody have a guess what Arab might be?
The case ending.
Case ending. I'm not reading ahead.
No, it's yes.
Right. Let's try a different way of saying so. Let's just stop with Arab for a second. Every word in Arabic has a state. It's in a certain state. So let me do what Mona did with his students. It's a bit fun. Just introduce a concept gently to you. Okay. So for example, you can tell I love drawing tables. Help you to think. So angry. This is nothing to do with Arabic, but it's just to gently. Yeah. Right. So I'm going to speak to you at random, and just tell me what comes to your mind. Don't say anything dark because you're recording. Right. When you're happy, how do you feel?
Elated.
Oh, big one. Hope I'm spelling right. When you're angry, how do you feel?
Grumpy.
Grumpy. No, it's a bad one. I'm just when you're sad, how do you feel?
Lonely.
Oh. Keep an eye on. How do you feel when you're sad?
Crying.
Crying. How do you feel when you're angry?
Frustrated.
Are you a spokesperson?
No, I'm just thinking out loud.
All right. Zuba, how do you feel when you're happy?
Ecstatic.
Ecstatic. Big words, man. Ecstatic. Okay. How do you feel when you're angry?
Hungry.
Hungry. Interesting.
Give them another hope.
So you're like a double one. You're angry and then you're going to be hungry as well.
Hungry.
Ali, how do you feel when you're happy? Not ecstatic.
Joyful.
Joyful. Gentle word. Ahmad, how do you feel when you're sad?
Frustrated.
Frustrated. I'm just about frustrated people. Look at that. Look, that might be interpreted the wrong way. How do you feel when you're angry?
Annoyed.
Annoyed. Next one, how do you feel when you're sad?
Upset.
Upset. Next one, how do you feel when you're happy?
Excited.
Excited? You don't seem very excited right now. How do you feel when you're angry? Sorry, angry, yeah. Don't say thirsty.
No, I'm going to say frustrated.
Frustrated. No. Dave, how do you feel when you're sad?
Dark.
Dark. Keep an eye on it. How do you feel when you're happy? How do you feel when you're happy? Just tell me how you feel. Your state.
Overjoyed.
Overjoyed. And last but not least, how do you feel when you're angry?
Annoyed.
Annoyed. Okay. Right. This is just a bit of fun to introduce you to Irab because Irab is quite it's the last topic on nouns, but it's something that will just take a bit of work for you to understand as well. Alright, so what you notice here is for different people, A, B, person A, C, D, right? So different people have different states, right? Different people have different states. Person A, so I mixed it over. Just think of person A. If I ask person A, he would say, when I'm happy, I feel like this. When I'm angry, I feel like this. When I'm sad, I feel like this. Right? So in three states, you have different feelings, right? If I ask somebody else, how do you feel? You would say this. In this state, you would say this. In this state, you would say this. In this state. All right? Does that make sense? So we have different states depending on the condition that we're in, depending how we're feeling. So we have something very similar in Arabic. So let me just gradually introduce you to. So letters, right, or words rather, usually end in three states. Yeah. In other words, the last letter on that word will have one of three, broadly speaking. Who can think of the first one? What's the last letter always got on top of it? One of three. Zammatain. So it's got Zammatain, or if you've got Alif Lam, it'll be Zamma, right? They go together. What's the second one? Fathatain or Fatha, yeah. You've already done that when Alif Lam comes, it drops, yeah. What's the final one? Just put a line dash underneath it. That's okay. So these are three states that words will be in. So for example, Muslimun. We're always interested in Arabic. We're absolutely we're so focused on like the last letter. Because you know when you read Arabic, have you ever tried reading Arabic without all the Zambal page? And then what does it say? Right? This is what you're going to learn to do. You're going to be able to read Arabic fluently, inshallah, without the aid of Zabar, Zayr, Page, and inshallah. I'll take you on that journey. Because when you get to advanced books, it's not there for you. Right? But you'll be able to do it. You'll be able to do it. I'll get you to that stage, inshallah. So Muslimun is with Dhammatain. In fact, obviously, I can also say Al-Muslim. Yeah? I would have one page on top. Right? Now, we have a name for that state. That name, which I want you to memorize, inshallah, is called Marfu'. Marfu'. What's it called? Marfu', yeah? From the word Rafa. Rafa, it comes from the word Rafa, but I just want you to remember this word. Marfu'. So, Muslimun is Marfu'. Muslimun is Marfu' because it's got Rafa. Can you see? It's got Dopesh or Opesha. Marfu'. Can you see? Can you get that guy there? So it's in a state, Marfu' means it's in a state of Rafa. Yeah, Marfu'. That's a state of being. You got that, guys? Marfu'. We actually call it Halat Marfu'. It's in a state of Marfu', right? Let me give you another example.
What would that be translated to? Marfu'.
There are words for it. Nominative, genitive, sorry, accusative. There are words for it, but I'm not going to scare you right now. I'm going to give you some English sentences to practice with next lesson, and we're going to do English sentences first. There are words for it. Yeah. But for now, for this weekend, what we're going to do is finish off this exercise. Remember these key things, right? What's that called in Arabic? Kasratain. We also have this one, the Nasr. Yeah, it's called Zabar or Fatha. Right? But the word we have is called Mansub. Mansub. It's in a state of Mansub. Yeah? We call it Mansub. So Mansub. When it has a Zabar, or no Zabar, or Fatha, it's called Mansub. Say Mansub. Mansub, yeah? So Marfu', Mansub. The word for that is Nasr. We'll go into linguistically. Rafa is quite easy because it's elevated, it's lifted above there. But we'll go through why they call these terms later on. So you have Marfu'. So whenever, like looking at Quran, we're going to do this next Tuesday, inshallah. And I want you to practice, like that's the second homework. Go look at the first few pages of Surah Baqarah, look at each noun, because you roughly know what a noun is. And I want you to identify whether that noun is Marfu' or Mansub. Let me give you an example in a second. The final one we have, which is for the do page and the page, is, so when it has do page, it's called Majroor. Say majroor. Majroor, yeah, or jar. Majroor. You will be seeing these words in your dreams, right? Marfu, mansub, majroor, right? So, any questions with that? That's all you need to remember, that the words will be always in one of three states: marfu, mansub, or majroor, right? They either have a rafa or dhammatain at the end. They either have fatha or fathatain at the end, or other, or they either have kasra or kasratain at the end. That's generally speaking. When I'm talking generally speaking. There will be exceptions.
So, do we have to remember marfu or rafa?
Marfu, mansub, majroor.
Not the box.
The boxes, yes.
Right.
I'm just telling you what the root word means.
Alright.
Right? So marfu, mansub, majroor. Write it on your fridge, write it on your head, whatever it takes, you memorize it. There'll be a lot of memorization at this stage, but inshallah later on it'll just come natural to you.
Are we going to be saying it as it's in the marfu state, or
Yeah.
we're going to say it's in the rafa state?
Marfu state. Halat marfu, mansub, majroor. So like for example, alif lam mim, let's put that to one second. Zalika, put that to one side. Al-kitab, you know straight away that's a noun. Why do you know it's a noun? Alif lam mim. Al-kitabu, هذا مرفوع منصوب مجرور. مرفوع، yeah, رفع مرفوع. لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين الذين يؤمنون بالغيب. بالغيب. Alif lam, so you know it's a noun. Majroor, because the last letter has gone. That's why it's highlighted. You could even do that. So look at the first two rukus, find the noun, write it down. Yeah? Could you engage in the Quran? That's what I want you to do eventually. So you know obviously what's a noun now. Like there'll be other ones that you can't stop. But as soon as you say that, I told us alif lam is a noun. Only noun was alif lam at the beginning. Okay, let me write it down. Technically you might not always be correct because there's other rules that I'm going to teach you later on. So now you just need to know what marfu, mansoob, and majroor is. This is going to be so important. I'm going to take you slowly through this over the next few weeks. So important. It's critical. But we go through it slowly. That's why in the book there's a few pages that are dedicated to it. But we'll go through it inshallah.
You can have a word in a certain state,
Every word will be in a state.
but written not in that order.
Not in this order, no. This is just telling you what the state will be in. Marfu, mansoob, majroor. Yeah. Does that make sense? Yeah. It gets a bit more interesting, but we'll do that later. But you just, for now, all you need to remember, like I did here, this was just a practical example, that we're all in different states, right? Depending, same thing with words, they're in different states. But they'll all be in one of three states. Marfu, mansoob, majroor. You just need to remember that. Marfu, mansoob, majroor. Marfu, mansoob, majroor. Just remember that. And when I see you on Tuesday, I'll keep practicing with you, inshallah. Right, so, I want you to do over the weekend, finish off all exercises, 5 and 6. And then exercise 7 is very easy, you just need to translate it. Okay, you just need to translate it. That's all I want you to do. If you want, when you've done a few, you can pull off if you feel really enthusiastic. Who is an enthusiastic one? If you're really excited, let's try and make it a bit more interactive. So if you want to upload a video of you doing something, put it on a WhatsApp group. Yeah, this might be a mistake. Post something on WhatsApp, here's a video of me doing a duel. Right? You can like to share notes, help each other. So use a WhatsApp group to share notes. So do a few examples. I'm not going to make you do it. I would normally say everyone must put one video on. And somebody will come out with a fatwa and say, man, I don't believe in videos. Right? But put some videos on as well at home. Right? Make it interactive, make it fun. Enjoy the experience of learning Arabic. Right? You need to enjoy what you do, otherwise you're just going to find it really boring. Any questions? We'll stop there. Everybody okay with that? So we've done nouns. We've almost finished nouns. We'll finish off Irab over the next few lessons. And then we're going to move on to tenses, which comes later on. All right, if no one's got any questions, keep coming. There's a few absences today, probably because of Marcus. Make sure you keep coming to the lesson. Some people have good flag. If they can't make it, they actually text me on WhatsApp privately. If you can't make it, just let me know. It's the adab as well. Obviously, if you don't know, you don't know. But if you're not going to come for whatever reason, just text me privately. It doesn't mean I have to respond to you. Just let me know, Ravana, I can't make it for whatever reason. Haircut is not good enough reason. I rang my barber at 8:15, and he said to me, come now. I said to him, I'm teaching. I'm going tomorrow instead, right? I need a haircut as well. So, haircut is not in madrasa setting, that's not a valid reason. In normal madrasa setting, I'd make the student shave his head off. Right? We can't do that with you guys, you're adults. Keegan, inshallah, I'll see you all on Tuesday. Subhanallah, bihamdihi, subhanallah, wa bihamdihi.